Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Daniel, and I'm the Vegan Nazarite. Well, if you tried to go on the live stream, I had an error from YouTube, and basically told me that it was YouTube was not able to live stream. So who knows what's going on? Uh, but on the second stream, we're all good. So again, my name is Daniel, and I'm the Vegan Nazarite. Welcome to today's Torah reading. I hope everybody had a good week, and I hope everybody is enjoying the winter, although it's really brutally cold right now, like close to minus 30 degrees Celsius, which makes kind of having fun in the snow a little bit hard. But in a few months, sun's going to reappear, and we're going to be good. Today's Torah reading is Mase'ei, and that's going to be Numbers 33:1 to 36:13. And the prophets today is going to be the continuation of last week. If you remember last week, we had, how can I say that? We kept on reading because Jeremiah at the beginning of basically puts on a whole bunch of curses, and God has a double-edged sword. And yes, he can curse, but he can also bless. And we read a little bit longer to see those blessings. I didn't know that. And this week, it's basically going to be a continuation of that. So, sorry for the late, a little bit out of my control, as we say. And let me just do a Shabbat Shalom and the comments. And again, as I say every week, if I miss your comment in the chat, it's not because I've been ignoring you. It's because I'm actually busy reading, and sometimes I can't see the chat when it's actually being delivered. So let me fix that right now. Let me organize my desktop. Again, I apologize. I'm a little late because YouTube gave me some technical difficulties. That's good. I'm good. So let's start. We're almost done the book of Numbers. So this is going to be the last Torah reading in Numbers. So close off the bookmarks here so I can see a little bit longer in my screen. All right, chapter 33. These are the stages of the children of Israel by which they went forth out of the land of Egypt, by their hosts under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote the goings forth, stage by stage, by the commandment of the Lord, and these are the stages of their goings forth. And they journeyed from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with a high hand in sight of all the Egyptians. While the Egyptians were burying them that the Lord had smitten among them, even their firstborn, upon their gods also the Lord executed judgment. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses and pitched in Succoth. And they journeyed from Succoth and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. And they journeyed from Etham and turned back onto Pi-hahiroth, which is before Baal Zephon, and they pitched before Migdol. And then they journeyed from Penahitharoth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, And then they went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham and pitched in Marah. And they journeyed from Marah and came on to Elim. And in Elim were the 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, and they pitched there. And they journeyed from Elim and pitched by the Red Sea. And they journeyed from the Red Sea and pitched in the wilderness of Sin. And they journeyed from the wilderness of Sin and pitched in Dophkah. And they journeyed from Dophkah and pitched in Alush. And they journeyed from Alush and pitched in Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. And they journeyed from Rephidim and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai. And they journeyed from the wilderness of Sinai and pitched in the Kibroth Hattavah. And they journeyed from Kibroth Hattavah and pitched in Hazeroth. And they journeyed from Hazeroth and pitched in Rithmah. And they journeyed from Rithmah and they pitched in Rimmon Perez. And they journeyed from Rimmon Perez and pitched in Libnah. And they journeyed from Libnah and pitched in Risa. And they journeyed from Rithmah and pitched in Rimmon Perez. And they journeyed from Rimmon Perez and they pitched in Libnah. And they journeyed from Libnah and pitched in Risa. And they journeyed from Risa and pitched in Kehillah. And they journeyed from Kehillah and pitched in Mount Shephar. And they journeyed from Mount Shephar and pitched in Harada. And they journeyed from Harada and pitched in Mekeloth. And they journeyed from Mekeloth and pitched in Tabath. And they journeyed from Tabath and pitched in Terah. And they journeyed from Terah and pitched in Mithkah. And they journeyed from Mithkah and pitched in Hashmonash. And they journeyed from Hashmonah and pitched in Moseroth. And they journeyed from Moseroth and pitched in Bene Jacan. And they journeyed from Bene Jacan, and they journeyed from Bene Jacan and pitched in Hor Haggidad. And they journeyed from Hor Haggidad and pitched in Jotbah. And they journeyed from Jotbah and pitched in Abronath. And they journeyed from Abronath and pitched in Ezion Geber. And they journeyed in Ezion Geber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin. The same is Kadesh. And they journeyed from Kadesh and pitched in Mount Hor at the edge of the land of Edom. And Aaron the priest went up into Mount Hor at the commandment of the Lord and died there in the 40th year after the children were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 5th month, on the first day of the month. And Aaron was 123 years old when he died in Mount Hor. And the Canaanites, the king of Arad, who dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. And they journeyed from Mount Hor and pitched in Zalmanah. And they journeyed from Zalmanah and pitched in Punon. And they journeyed from Punon and pitched in Oboth. And they journeyed from Oboth and pitched in Abarim at the border of Moab. And they journeyed from Ejim and pitched at Dibon Gad. And they journeyed from Dibon Gad and pitched in Alman Diblathaim. And they journeyed from Alman Diblathaim and pitched in the mountains of Abarim in front of Nebo. And they journeyed from the mountains of Abarim and pitched in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. And they pitched by the Jordan from Beth Jeshimoth even unto Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you pass over the Jordan in the land of Canaan, Then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and will destroy all their figured stones, and destroy all their molten images, and demolish their high places. And you shall drive out the inhabitants of the land, and dwell therein, for unto you I have given the land to possess it. And you shall inherit the land, by lot according to your families. To the more you shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer thou shalt give the less inheritance. Wherever the lot falleth to any man, that shall be his. According to the tribes of your fathers shall you inherit. But you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you. But if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land before you, then shall those that ye let remain of them be as thorn in your eyes, and as pricks in your sides, and they shall harass you in the land wherein you dwell. And it shall come to pass that as I thought to do unto them, so I will do unto you. Chapter 34. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say, unto them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this shall be the land that shall fall unto you for inheritance to the borders thereof. Thus your south side shall be from the wilderness of Zin, close by the side of Edom, and your south border shall begin at the end of the salt sea eastward. And your border shall turn about southward of the ascent of Akrabim, and pass along to Zin. And the goings out thereof shall be southward of Kadesh Barnea, and it shall go forth to Hazardad, and shall pass along to Asmon. And the border shall turn about from Asmon unto the brook of Egypt, and the goings out thereof shall be at the sea. And the western border, you shall have the great sea for a border. This shall be your west border. And this shall be your north border. From the great sea you shall mark your line unto Mount Hor. This is Mount Hor. You shall mark out a line unto the entrance to Hamath, and the goings out of the border shall be at Zedad. And the border shall go forth to Ziphron, and the goings out thereof shall be Hazar Enan, and this shall be your north border. And you shall mark out the line from the east border, from Hazar Enan to Shepham, and the border shall go down from Shepham to Riblah on the east side of the Ain, and at the border shall go down and shall strike upon the slope of the sea at Chinnereth eastward. And the border shall go down to the Jordan, and the goings out thereof shall be at the salt sea. This shall be your land according to the borders there round about. And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, This is the land wherein you shall receive inheritance by lot, which the Lord had commanded to give unto the 9 tribes, and to the half tribe, for the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to their fathers' houses, and the tribe of the children of Gad, according to their fathers' houses, have received, and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. 2 tribes and the half tribe have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan at Jericho eastward, towards the sun rising. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, These are the names of the men that shall take possession of the land for you: Eleazar the priest, and Joshua son of Nun. And you shall take 1 prince of every tribe to take possession of the land. And these are the names of the men: the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jehuphaneh; and the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel the son of Ammihud; of the tribe of Benjamin, Eliadad the son of Chrislon; and the tribe of the children of Dan, a prince, Buki son of Jogli; of the children of Joseph, Of the tribe of the children of Manasseh, a prince, Haniel, the son of Ephod. And of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, a prince, Kemuel, the son of Shiftan. And the tribe of the children of Zebulun, a prince, Elizaphan, the son of Parganash. And of the tribe of the children of Issachar, a prince, Paltiel, the son of Azan. And of the tribe of the children of Asher, a prince, Ahihud, son of Shilomi. And of the tribe of the children of Naphtali, a prince, Pedahel, the son of Aminahud. These are they whom the Lord commanded to divide the inheritance unto the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. Chapter 35. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of an inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in, and open land round about the cities shall you give unto the Levites. And the cities they shall have to dwell in. Their open land shall be for their cattle, and for their substance, and for all their beasts. And all the open land about the cities, which you shall give unto the Levites, shall be from the wall of the city and outward 1,000 cubits round about. And you shall measure without the city for the east side 2,000 cubits, and to the south side 2,000 cubits, and for the west side 2,000 cubits, and for the north side 2,000 cubits. The city beginning being in the midst. This shall be to them the open land about the cities. And the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, they shall be the 6 cities of refuge, which you shall give for the manslayer to flee thither. And besides them, you shall give 42 cities. All the cities which you shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities. Them shall you give with the open land about them. And concerning the cities which you shall give the possession of the children of Israel, from the many you shall take many, and from the few you shall take few. Each tribe according to its inheritance, which it inherited, shall give of its cities unto the Levites. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you pass over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer that killeth any person through error may flee thither. And the cities shall be unto you for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer die not, until ye stand before the congregation for judgment. And as to the cities which you shall give, there shall be for you 6 cities of refuge. You shall give 3 cities, and you shall give the land. You shall give 3 cities beyond the Jordan, and 3 cities shall you give in the land of Canaan. They shall be cities of refuge for the children of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the settler among them shall these 6 cities be for a refuge, that every one that killeth any person through error may flee thither. But if he smote him with an instrument of iron so that he died, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he smote him with a stone in his hand, whereby a man die, and he died, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he smote him with a weapon, or if he smote him with a weapon of wood in his hands, whereby a man may die, and he died, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The avenger of blood shall himself put the murderer to death. When he meeteth him, he shall put him to death. And if he trust him out of hatred, or hurled at him anything lying in wait, so that he died, or an enemy spoke with him with his hand that he died, or in enmity, he shall surely be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meeteth him. The avenger of blood, but if he trusts him subtly without enmity, or hurled upon him anything without lying in wait, or with any stone whereby a man may die, seeing him not, and cast it upon him, so he died, and he was not his enemy, neither sought his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the smiter and the avenger of blood, according to these ordinances. And the congregation shall deliver the manslayer out of the hand of the avenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to his city of refuge, whither he was fled, and he shall dwell therein until the death of the high priest, who was anointed with the holy oil. But if the manslayer shall any time go beyond the border of his city of refuge, whither he fleeth, and the avenger of blood find him without the border of his city of refuge, and the avenger of blood shall slay the manslayer, there he shall be no blood guiltiness on him, because he must remaineth in the city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer may return unto the land of his possession. And these things shall be for a statute of judgment unto you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoso killeth any person, the murderer shall be slain at the mouth of witnesses. But one witness shall not testify against any person that he die. Moreover, you shall take no ransom for the life of a murderer, that he is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. And you shall take no ransom for him that is fled to his city of refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land until the death of the priest. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are. For blood, it polluteth the land, and no expiation can be made for the land for the blood that is shed therein. But by the blood of him that shed it, thou shalt not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell in the midst of the children of Israel. And the heads, chapter 36, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the family of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spoke before Moses and before the princes, the heads of the fathers' house of the children of Israel. And they said, the Lord commandeth my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And to my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters. And if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then will their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of our fathers, and will be added to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they shall belong. So it will be taken away from the lot of our inheritance. And when the jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then will their inheritance be added unto the inheritance of the tribes whereupon they shall belong. So will their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribes of our fathers. And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of the Lord, saying, the tribe of the sons of Joseph speaketh right. This is the thing which the Lord had commanded concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them be married on whom they think best. Only into the family of the tribes of their father shall there be married. So shall no inheritance of the children of Israel remove from one tribe to tribe. For the children of Israel shall cleave every one unto their inheritance of the tribe of the children of Israel shall be the wife, and every daughter that possesseth an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may possess every man the inheritance of their fathers. So shall no inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe. For the tribes of the children of Israel shall cleave each one to its own inheritance. Even as the Lord commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. For Mahlah, Tisra, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married unto their father's brothers' sons. They were married unto the families of the sons of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of their family of their father. These are the commandments and ordinances which the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses unto the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. Okay, so that concludes our Torah reading for today. I'm just going to go back and do a quick commentary on some of the verses I highlighted. Numbers starts at 33. So we start off basically with a history of the places that the children of Israel went through before reaching the promised land. And then the first verse I have is 33, I believe. Yeah. 33, verse 31. Verse 51. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when you pass over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their figured stones, and destroy all their molten images, and demolish all their high places. And you shall drive out the inhabitants of the land, and dwell therein, for unto you I have given the land to possess it. So that was the condition in taking over the promised land. They had to drive everybody out and destroy all their idols, destroy all the molten images or figures of brass, and demolish all their high places. So pagans used high places as places of worship. I mean, places that were high up on top of mountains. And also they had sacred groves, trees, or forests, small forests that were basically considered holy. Well, God commands them to destroy all that and not leave a trace of it behind. And there's a big condition here. In verse 55, we continue, but if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then shall those that you let remain of them be as thorns in your eyes and as pricks to your side, and they shall harass you in the land wherein you dwell. And it shall come to pass that as I had thought to do unto them, so will I do unto you. So by not following the command, basically, the children of Israel were basically, if they did not do as the Lord commanded, they were basically no better off than the pagans that they replaced. So again, the Torah is full of the double-edged sword of blessings and curses. By doing, you're blessed if you do what God says, and you're basically cursed if you don't. You're not. And that's a running theme in the Torah in all the books. So there is no I just want to comment on that. There's no half measures uh, in God's commands. You either do them or you don't. And I find this a little bit a tragedy, so to speak, in today's worship because uh, today's worship is so full of half measures and things taken from different religions and things taken from different faiths. And God tells us the opposite. He says, I don't want you guys to do anything uh, that the pagans do. Do what I command you and don't add or remove from it. Okay, so next chapter is 34. Let's see what I got, what I have. So 34, verse 16. So 34, we basically have the law of the cities of refuge. The Levites were in charge of 6 cities where anybody who accidentally killed a man could flee, and he would flee to that city, uh, and then he would be judged uh, according to the judges of that city, whether he was a manslaughterer or a murderer. And the basic criteria to change between a murderer and a manslaughterer is basically a weapon. If you are hitting a person with an instrument of iron, the Torah mentions, stone in hand, weapon of wood or club, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. So in that case, if he would judged to be a murderer, then he would be kept in custody in the city of refuge, and then a next of kin would be the avenger of blood and would basically put the murderer to death. And you might find that a little bit, how do we say that? Vigilanti justice. But you got to remember that the murderer was judged before by the priests. So, so he's already been sentenced to death. The murderer is just doing what God commanded him to do. Not the murderer, the avenger of blood is putting the murderer to death because that's how the law. And then we have the definition of a manslaughter a little bit later on in verse 22. But if you trust him suddenly without enmity, or hurled upon him anything without lying in wait, or with any stone whereby a man may die, seeing him not, and cast it upon him so that he died, and he was not his enemy, neither sought him harm, then the congregation shall judge between the smiter and the avenger of blood according to these ordinances. So it's basically accidental death. Say you, I'll use the example of a pit. You dig a pit and somebody's working in there, and you're not, say you inadvertently don't know that somebody's working in there, and you start throwing rocks in there, and the rock hits the man and kills him. Well, the Torah tells us that, he was not lying in wait. So in other words, it wasn't an ambush. The person can't be hated. And we know that what the Torah commands us about hate, right? We're not supposed to hate any of the children of Israel. We are to love them as our own selves. So you can't hate. You can't do an ambush. You can't do any form of premeditated murder. And if that happened, we have verse 25, and the congregation shall deliver the manslayer out of the hand of the avenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to his city of refuge, whether he was fled, and he shall dwell therein until the death of the high priest. So, uh, for killing somebody accidentally, you didn't go scot free. You had to stay in the city of refuge where you fled uh, until the high priest died. And then, and only then, could you go back to your family. So, a little bit different than when we read in modern law, so to speak. Um, and then I want to dwell on verse 33 also. So we shall not. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it polluteth the land, and no expiation can be made for the land for the blood that is shed therein. So God is basically telling them that when blood is shed or a murder, there's no way to unpollute the land, so to speak, uh, unless by the blood of him that shed it. Thou shalt not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of where I dwelled. I, the Lord, dwell in the midst of the children of Israel. So we can see that God's protection is not only to the people, but also to the land. I wonder what God thinks of all these thousands of acres that we destroyed, either with radioactive waste, chemical waste. I mean, these are kinds of pollution that literally kill people. And we're basically making very large areas of the earth totally inhabitable right now. Just look at some of the uh, oil places that are extracting oil. I mean, it'll be thousands of years before some of these places are so don't pollute the land. Chapter 36. Let's go again. Oh yeah, so Zelophehad's daughters uh, did get a piece of inheritance in the land of Israel because their father had passed away and they had no hair. Well, no male hair. So here we see that uh, Moses gives the inheritance to the daughters, but under the condition that they only marry within their own tribe, because the land was supposed to stay in the tribes of Israel forever. And the only reason that it didn't is because, well, the Israelites of the past did pollute the land. They polluted it crazy. We read often of some of the places that Jerusalem basically is referred to as a place that's filled with murderers. So I don't know. So that's why the tribes are not living there anymore, because they left the commandments of the Lord, which was basically their blessing to exist, for lack of better words. All right, that's the Torah. Let's switch over to the prophets. And today, like I said earlier, we're going to be continuing Jeremiah, what we read last week. And let me go there, Jeremiah 2:4. Um, So, like I explained earlier, last week we read basically the curses for abandoning the Lord. And I continued last week because prophets are also a double edged sword. They have blessings and curses. And we read the curses last week, and I kind of realized, well, that's not the whole story because prophets always speak good and, I'll say evil for lack of better, if we abandon the Lord. Chapter 2 of Jeremiah, verse 4. And we're going to be reading all the way to 28. Hear the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel. Thus says the Lord, what unrighteousness have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after the things of naught, and have become naught. Neither did they say, where is the Lord that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, that led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and of pits, through a land of drought and of the shadows of death, through a land that no man passed through, and no man dwelt. And I brought you into a land of fruitful fields, to eat of the fruit thereof and the good thereof. But when you entered, you defiled my land and made my inheritance an abomination. The priests said not, where is the Lord? And they that handle the law knew me not. And the rulers transgressed against me. The prophets also prophesied by Baal, and walked after things that do not profit. Wherefore, will you plead with you? I will yet plead with you, says the Lord, and with your children's children I will plead. For pass over to the isles of the Kenites, and see, and send unto Kedar, and consider diligently, and see if hath there been such a thing. Has a nation changed its gods, which there are no gods? But my people has changed its glory for that which do not profit. Be astonished, O heavens, at this. Be horribly afraid. Be exceedingly amazed, saith the Lord, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why has he become a prey? The young lions have roared upon him, and they let their voices resound, and they have made his land desolate. His cities are laid waste without inhabitants. The children also of Noph and Tahaphanhes fed upon the crown of thy head. Is it not this that doeth cause unto thee, that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy God, when he led thee by the way? And now hast thou do in the way of Egypt, to drink the water of Shihor? Or what hast thou to do in the way to Assyria, to drink the waters of the river? Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore, and see that it is an evil and bitter thing, that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy God. Neither is my fear in thee, saith the Lord, the God of hosts. For of old time have I broken thy yoke, and burst thy hands, and thou said, I will not transgress. Upon every high hill and under every leafy tree thou did recline, playing the harlot. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, a holy right seed. How then art thou turned onto the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? For thou wash thee with niter, and take thee much soap. Ye, thine iniquity is marked before ye, said the Lord thy God. And I think that's it. So it's all up to 28. Let's keep going. 23. How can thou say, I am not defiled? Have I not gone after the Balaam? See in thy way of the valley. No, what thou hast done. Thou art a swift young camel traversing her ways, a wild ass used to the wilderness, that snuffing up the wind in her desire, her lust. Who can hinder it? Without thy foot from being unshod, and thy throat from thirst. But thou said, there is no hope. No, we have loved strangers, and after them I will go. As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed. Their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets, who say to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone, thou hast brought us forth. For they have turned their back unto me, and not their face. But in the time of their trouble they will say, arise and save us. But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Let them arise, if they can save thee in the time of trouble. For according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. Well, there we go. Jeremiah there, giving the words of the Lord to the people of Judah, which is basically the last tribe that was left in the days of Israel and Judah, the two kingdoms. So what's all this about? Well, my people have committed two evils. God considers Israel going astray by two ways. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and who hewed them cisterns, broken cistern that cannot hold no water. So they basically forgot God and his commandments and literally made their own gods. We read this at the end in verse 28, where he says that Judah has as many gods as the number of their own cities. And we just read in the Torah not too long ago, just in the Levite cities, there were 48 of them. So that doesn't include any of the other cities of the other tribes. So God is basically saying to them, you abandoned everything I did. You abandoned my commandments. You abandoned my ways of worship. And so what happens? Well, God considers the Israelites, when they do this, no better than the pagan or the other tribes that were around them, namely the Hittites, Perizzites, all the other tribes that they were supposed to expel from the land. So there we have it, folks. Again, another Torah reading. And if you've been accompanying me, well, that's good. We are done the book of Numbers, and next week, God willing, of course, we'll be switching to Deuteronomy. I like Deuteronomy because it's one of my favorite books. That's where the third most important verses in the Bible are, namely Deuteronomy 4:2 and Deuteronomy 12:32, which basically tell us not to add or remove from the Torah. So hopefully I will be back to finish this Torah reading next week. And may you have a blessed day. May you have a good week. And this is Daniel, the Vegan Nazarite, and I'm signing off for another week. Shabbat Shalom.